Good morning, everybody. It is meteorologist in the forecast, and welcome back to another update, guys. So, guys, as you can tell by the title, this is going to be another update on the very above average temperatures across the country. We're going to have really warm temperatures, guys. It's going to be up to in the triple digits for many areas that you usually don't get the triple digits this early in the summer, guys. We're going to have widespread warm temperatures, and many of you guys are going to be getting affected by this and need to be safe, stay hydrated, and all that. But before we get into the video, guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel for you guys to get daily updates on these type of videos. And also be sure to hit the notification bell icon for you guys get notified as soon as I make daily updates for you guys are all safe. And then also be sure to like this video for I know you guys like videos like these, for I can do more often of these. But guys, again, if you guys want to know how bad you're going to be affected by the heat, if you will even be affected by the heat, and how long this heat will last, then I'll come right up. Alright, guys, so as you can tell, we are going to be first looking at the national westerns, because we have a lot of new updates on the active alerts we actually have right now. So we do have these heat advisories in effect for still parts of the Carolinas, and we will still have some very warm temperatures across parts of the East Coast, guys. It's going to be really dangerous out there for parts of the East Coast too. And then we also have another area for the South Central where we do have heat advisories too in effect for the Oklahoma City area and for the Dallas area. So we also do have some excessive heat warnings. Oh, sorry, we actually do have some excessive heat watches in effect for parts of the New Jersey area and for the Philadelphia area. And then we do have excessive heat warnings in effect for the South Central, for the Death Valley area, and for the Phoenix area, guys, because we are really going to have some triple digits up to 114 degrees for many areas, guys. It's really dangerous out here because many of you guys don't get hydrated, and trust me, it's not going to be really good to pass out, so you guys need to stay hydrated and put some sunscreen on. And then we do have a widespread area into the plains where we do have excessive heat watches. That's actually was new last night, because we are going to be seeing these warm temperatures into the plains start to stretch out across the country. Because at first they were here into the southwest, but they will be stretching as the ridge will be bringing widespread above average temperatures for much of the east part of the country, guys. So yeah, those are the active alerts. So now we're going to be looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, so you guys have a general average what to see in the average for the next 8 to 14 days. It goes all the way to July 29th. So again, this does not mean every single day from the 8 to 14 days it's going to be above average or below average for your area. It just means in general on average of all these days. So you're really going to have really warm temperatures out here for the West Coast and for the Pacific Northwest. We're really going to have some very warm temperatures. We're also going to have the really warm temperatures out here for parts of the Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Oregon area. So that's where we're going to be seeing really warm temperatures for the next week or so. And then we will be seeing some warmer temperatures again for parts of the Nevada area, for the California area. So in general, you're really going to see some warmer temperatures and expected in upper 90s for all the way in the areas of the Canada border. Then we also have another area for the South Central, especially for Texas. Texas will really be seeing some very warm temperatures, especially the southern tip there. And then again, we are going to be having some really warm temperatures for the plains. They usually do not get to the hundreds this early, guys. It's going to be really warm front, and we're also going to have this ridge. So this ridge is going to be changing up by next week. So next week will actually be one of the worst to see these really warm temperatures because the ridge has not changed yet. So that's why we are seeing some below average temperatures for the Wisconsin area and for the Ohio Valley, but that would all change next week. We'll really have widespread warm temperatures, and then again, the East Coast will also have very warm temperatures. It's just not really widespread across the East Coast. It's going to be more to the coastal areas where we'll have these above average temperatures. Alright, guys, it just has to reload for a second. Oops, that was so it just has but we will be seeing the warmest temperatures off the East Coast into the Florida area. So if you're in the Florida area, expect some humid weather, guys. It's really going to be very dangerous out there. So then we're also going to be looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook for precipitation if you want to know if it's going to be warm and dry or warm or wet, because it's going to make a huge difference. So we're actually going to have very wet conditions for the Carolinas, so they will be above average, but also wet, so it's not going to be that bad. So it's not like they're going to not have a lot of rain with the heat, but they will have some rain, because this heat will really produce a lot of thunderstorms with these overday heating. And then we're also going to have a lot of A lot of precipitation, a lot of storms for the southwest and parts of the Colorado area. That's where we're also going to see some above average precipitation. Colorado and the Four Corners area won't really have huge amounts of above average temperatures, which is mean they're going to be near average or slightly above average with some precipitation, which is not too bad for this time. But again, later next week, we'll have some hundreds in the Four Corners area, and then we're going to have widespread above average precipitation for much of the southeast, parts of the northern plains, south central. So Texas will be getting some above average precipitation with the warm temperatures, and then we'll be seeing some more dry conditions out there for the Ohio Valley areas in the Midwest. So we'll be seeing cooler and drier conditions there. So now we're going to be looking at the 3-month outlook for you guys that want to know, for those people who want to know how long is this heat going to last. Well, guys, if you go all the way the next 3 months, it's looking like it's going to be, the whole country is going to be above average, especially parts of the Four Corners in the Northeast. So, guys, it's not looking like it's really going to go away really soon. It's going to be staying here for a long time. It is summer. This summer heat's going to get a lot worse. We're going to have especially above average temperatures for the Ohio Valley. It's basically a coast to coast above average, but again, slightly above average temperatures for the plains in the south central, and then the most above average temperatures for sure will be into the west and for parts of the east. So if you're in the plains, you won't expect really huge amounts of above average temperatures there. So now we're going to be looking at the daily of if you're going to be above average or below. Especially, it's going to be very detailed too, because we're going to have the amounts of how much it is above or below. So we're really going to be seeing some warm temperatures today, up to 7 degrees above average for the Kansas and Colorado area. And then we are going to be having slightly above average temperatures for the East Coast. Not going to be too bad, maybe only 3 to 4 degrees above average here, but slightly for the Southeast. They're going to be above average, but not more than really a degree or so. If we go later into today, we're really going to have these highs really go up here. We're going to have it to 12 degrees above average for the Nebraska area. And then we are going to be seeing some warmer temperatures for the Mid-Atlantic area. And also for the Midwest area, we can see 2 to 3 degrees above average. And then we will have slightly above average for the east, for the southwest. Again, guys, this ridge is really going to change. So this was July 18th. If we go later all the way into July 18th, guys, look at this. Widespread 12 degrees above average, just widespread, really warm temperatures. It's really crazy, guys. And then Nebraska, Arizona, New Mexico, parts of the Wyoming area, and the Kansas area, and South Dakota area, we'll all be seeing really warm temperatures out there, and it gets a lot worse as we go later into the week. We're going to have actually up to possibly 16 degrees above average for some areas in the plains. And look, this ridge just changed. Like I told you guys, now we're going to have very warm temperatures for the Ohio Valley in the Midwest. Wisconsin can have up to 10 degrees above average, and then the Northeast could be seeing the same temperatures there, and then we'll be having slightly below above average temperatures, only about 2 degrees above average for the Southeast. As we go all the way into July 21st, we will be seeing these warm temperatures spread into the east coast. So the New England area will be seeing up to 8 degrees above average. We're going to have this ridge keep on having these warm temperatures for the Ohio Valley. They will be decreasing only about 4 to 5 degrees. And then we're going to have the worst of it starting to get to the southern Colorado area, the Denver area. And then as we go earlier into next week, that's when we will have this ridge change. So we'll be seeing a below average temperature for much of the area, but that means we'll be switching around and having really warm temperatures for the west coast. And next week we'll be talking about this cold front too, but it will also be bringing cold temperatures for the parts of the plains, but also very warm temperatures for the northwest, guys. So now we're going to be looking at the temperatures for the highs today, guys. It's really crazy, 114 degrees for the Southern California and Southern Arizona area. That's really crazy. We're going to even have some mid-90s out there for the plains already, and then some very high 90s and low 100s for the Sierra Mountains, guys. That's how crazy and extreme it is. As we go into tomorrow, we're going to be seeing these warm temperatures spread across the East Coast. 100 degrees for the Jacksonville area and 103 for the Savannah, Georgia area. Not going to get any better for the Southwest. 107 degrees. It's just the sun's going to be really just pounding on these areas, guys. It's going to be crazy. and it's just going to be spreading widespread heat. Now we're going to get to the hundreds widespread across the plains, hundreds into the southwest, and then hundreds into the east coast. So guys, it's just really, really crazy. This heat is just incredibly high. Then we're going to have some hundreds for the plains, and it's just going to be getting worse and worse for the east coast too. We're going to have some very, very high 90s for the Richmond area, very, very high 90s for the southeast. And then we will be seeing hundreds now for the Colorado area, northern part of Texas, and Kansas will be getting the worst of it. But not only are we going to have really warm temperatures, look, 100 degrees for New Hampshire, guys. It's crazy. They're really close to the Canada area, so you expect to have some 70s and 80s there. But we're having some 100s, and then we're going to reach 103 for Oklahoma, guys. But look, 60s and for the highs, we're going to have some very high 60s for the north central. That's how this ridge is really going to affect it. But again, we're not only going to have these warm temperatures for the plains in the southwest. Look at this, 94 and 89, 91 for the parts of the Ozarks, and then that's still pretty warm. We're going to have 100s for Richmond, for Virginia Beach, and then some very high 90s for the Panhandle. God, it's just going to be constantly heat. It's going to get worse and worse, especially for the southwest, especially when this ridge does come. It brings in even some 50s for the northeast, but look, now some 100s widespread for the southwest and in the west. So now we're quickly going to be looking at another model here. It's going to be showing it more detailed, or sorry, less detailed. It's going to be just showing 4 to 5 degrees above average for the 20th of July here. We're going to have these slightly above average temperatures for the east coast, and then again we're going to have some above average temperatures for the southwest. And then again, this ridge does bring in some very cold temperatures for the northwest as right now, but it does start to change as we do get to the 26th of July. We do have below average temperatures for parts of the northwest and the northeast, and then we are having these warmer temperatures for the plains in the northeast and the west coast starting to get a lot better. And then that's where we have that ridge bringing in very cold temperatures for the for the eastern part of the country, and then very, very warm temperatures for the western part of the country. So again, we're just going to be taking turns with this ridge, and then once this ridge does end, it does end really, really fast. So this cold, you're not going to enjoy this cold air for a long time. I'm talking about these areas in the south central, and then this warm air does come back. Not as bad as right now, but it's going to still be bringing up to 3 to 4 degrees above average for some areas. Now we check that out, we're going to be looking at the real-time temperatures for this too. As you can tell, we are going to be seeing these high temperatures up to reach 105 degrees today, and then we are going to have some 70s, but that's all going to change if you go more into the week. We saw some 70s out there for Georgia and there. Look at that, some very high 90s. It does not get any better. The maximum is 110 degrees out here for the southwest, and widespread 90s. Even all the way to Wisconsin, we're going to have some 90s. We're going to have 92, 93 for northern Nebraska, and we're going to have actually 103 and 101 for the Albuquerque area. Really extreme heat, and then it does not get any better again. It actually gets a lot worse. 112 degrees for maximum for the 21st of July, bringing in some widespread, actually 111 degrees for the Kansas area, and then it brings in some actually triple digits for the northeast too. And then it does get slightly better. It does bring in some cooler temperatures for the northeast and a bit cooler temperatures for the northern plains, but again, it brings in some very high 90s for the Ozarks, brings in some very low 100s and very high 90s for the south central, and then it does bring in some very, very high 100s for parts of the southwest. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick upload on the very extreme heat from some of these areas. I hope you guys all stay safe. Try to prevent going outside. If you don't have to go outside, please prevent it. If you are going to be in one of these areas in the cooler, then you can go outside. But guys, dealing with 112 degrees does not feel good, especially when it feels like 120 or something. But guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and bye guys.